coffee shop. I think I've got the stream running with a good microphone this time. Let's wait and see. Okay, we've got a good connection. For the many people that are watching this right now, I hope the music isn't too loud. Well, I'm sort of contemplating if I should mute my microphone now or just leave it on the entire time. I think I'll leave it on. Let's see what I end up saying. But I will try my best not to talk for the sake of speaking. And start to plan this project. Maybe you can get some good keyboard ASMR out of this, if that's what you'd like.
Hello, this is Bjorn from ABBA.
Wait,
Really
that's not where I want to be.
listen here on Spotify.
Be the one employers want. To help you get there, we developed the ABSA Ready to Work app. It's perfect for people like you, the ones we call
Okay, that's
the
fine.
Ready. Via the app, you can access everything you need in
I don't know
one
where I
portal.
think it was in here.
Job search, tools and connections. Just download the ABSA Ready to Work app. Register, log in,
We'll have to
and
clean up
get
that
ready
page a
to
bit.
rock and roll. Being ready
Let's-
to work, that's Africanacity.
let's
and we're
see.
here for it. ABSA is an authorized
A couple
financial
things we need to
services
know
and
at the moment. We just need to make our project files first of all. So we need to make our GitHub project and sort that out. And then we just need to sit on this because I don't exactly know what features I need to get done, what I'm going to be able to get done in the time that I have. So I'd say that I'm not going to give myself more than 2 weeks to complete this project. So I should be done by around the 9th of December, and I think that's fair. So if I was to be able to do that, then what features do I think I would be able to complete? Okay, so first of all, the aim of the site is it's going to be a small group site where there would be some administrator, typically a teacher in a class or a leader of a club, that will be able to create users for a small group. This small group will be used to do competitive programming problems and rank their submission or their solution. There are a few features that we would need, like, of course, solution uploading. We'd need a leaderboard that would rank by time, but we aren't going to compile these online. It's just going to be a time that would be shared with an upload, or it would be the time that the administrator would get upon running the code himself. And alongside that, we would need we'd need some sort of hub that would share relevant problems, or like the problems of the week, etc. We could have some sort of timer that would say, okay, this problem, and this problem are active for the next week. There would be a timer, and then that would be the window for you to upload for that problem. And then when that window is done, you would be able to see everyone's solution. Yeah, if I had to draw it out, I don't think I'm gonna make the mocks right now, because right now all that I want to do is essentially just figure out what database I should use, because I sort of procrastinated on this for some time because I was stuck between just using a regular PHP and some sort of SQL database. Why I'm saying PHP, I meant an SQL database, or Firebase, and I didn't know if I was scaling this too far by using Firebase right now. But like I said, my knowledge about this is not as strong as it could be. So I should probably look more into it. Yeah, why was I saying probably? I should. Okay. So it's on hold. Now it's in progress. So these were the main features that I wanted. I wanted a responsive design, a user profile that would maybe include information such as the number of problems you've solved, your language, your programming language, of course. It might display your previous solutions. I think that's too far, but yeah, we just need some basic information about the profile. We need a page where we can upload a solution. The solution upload system will be we want that just posted to the database. It will post a link to some like Pastebin file, and then the administrator would be able to copy that code and run it himself. It's a bit tedious, but I think it's the best option for us now. I think that's fair, especially because well, not especially because what. Allow me to think. I need to think. Because the problem we were trying to avoid with finding out the times of each solution is we don't want our solutions to be run on different machines. So the idea was for someone to upload their code to Pastebin, get a link, we send that link in our solution upload page. That code will then be pushed into its own program on a single device and run. And that would be that, and then we'd be able to receive some time and then communicate that to the server, to the database rather. And yeah, that would be that. Only the administrator would be able to see the solutions uploaded. It could be one, it could be more than one. This just depends on the number of administrative accounts you have. The only thing that we need to control is we'll just have some component that's dynamic based on like user roles. And then if you're an administrator, you'll have access to this page. It might just append it to your document, append that element to your document. It'll just be a button, but yeah, to be dynamic rather. But then, solution status would also be cool. If you'd have some page, you could view the status of your submissions, and then it would say, okay, is it still pending? Because once it has been reviewed by the administrator, he just needs to say, okay, accepted, rejected, maybe it doesn't pass tests, maybe it does pass tests. If it doesn't, then you'd be able to say, okay, it doesn't, and then you'd see that, and then you'd get maybe some additional comment from the administrator or whoever reviewed it. And yeah, and then you'd also see if it was accepted and the proposed time, then it would be pushed to a leaderboard, which brings me to point 5, like right there. So a problem leaderboard is, it'll be, I really don't want to hard code this. I don't want to make a page for each problem. So we have to really be clever with how we make our SQL calls, because okay, I don't want to talk about database design now, but it would be possible for us to have a single like page layout, and then we'd have, say, a table that contains all of our problems, and then we'd have problem IDs, and then we'd have another table that would hold all the submissions, and then submissions would be linked with a key to all of the problems, and then based on the problem we query, it's like a simple SQL query, we get all submissions that have this ID of this specific problem. And I think that would be possible, to be honest. And then, okay, so let's talk about what sort of information we'd want on the leaderboard. We'd want the user, the language, the time, and potentially include a timer, and then, well, of course, an active window for a problem. And then after the active window is complete, there would be an additional column to the table or to the leaderboard that would allow you to see the solution. So it would send you a link to the solution. And then if we really want some like, if we'd want like user written content, that would also be good. Okay. Alongside that, what else could we do? I got the treasure that I cannot possess, you know. But a problem set. Okay, so an archive. Archives are good. I think that's more design dependent. I don't think I'd run into any issues programming that, so, assuming that I don't include some database in it. Yeah, and a problem archive is possible. We'd have to pull each record, maybe use some bootstrap and generate a card for each item in the record. Based on the problem site, we might have a different image or a different design of card, and then we just input link to problem, leaderboard, link to. I think that's it. I think that's all. But easier said than done, I suppose. And then the second issue that we came across was the database. Like I said, SQL makes this, at least in my mind, from the very little knowledge that I have about it at school, it just makes sense to me that SQL queries are the way to go. We just have a few tables, nothing too much. We have users linked to, okay, we'd have a user table, of course, that would just handle login. Then we'd have a table for problems, a table for submissions. Submissions point back to users so that you'd be able to see all of your submissions. Because then we'd only need a handful of pages. We'd only need, well, of course, a good index page that would send you to the various things. We'd need a problem leaderboard page, and then it would be handled completely by SQL query, so we'd only need one page. Then we'd need a solution upload page, like we said, a solution upload, and then that would just be a form, pretty simple. And then what would we need alongside that? I couldn't say. I don't really know. What do I think? Why would I want Firebase? That is my question. Because like we mentioned, there's no need for me to have Google authentication, which Firebase loves to push so much. I don't need. What was that? They had another feature that looked pretty good to me when I was reading about it. Oh, they had you could post media to your Firebase table field database. Okay. But would I need that? I really wouldn't. There's nothing that I wouldn't be able to maintain in an SQL database. Well, you see, this is the kind of bias that I'm talking about, because I just assume that Firebase is already competing with SQL, which it might in some scenarios, but this is really small scale. So I don't think I should push this out further than I need to. So I'll probably stop talking now and get to, I'd commit. I'm not going to use Firebase. I'm going to use SQL. And we'll see how that goes. I might have to track back. I might have to do a bit more research, but let's just assume. Let's promise ourselves. Also, how would I? Oh, I also don't know how to store my database online. I don't know how to say that. Like, I don't have experience with using a database on a live website. I could just imagine myself using storing a database on the local machine and then working on it from there. But okay, there's probably a way. If there is not, then MySQL wouldn't be as big as it is. So I'm gonna commit. Okay, MySQL is going to be the backend. Just gonna be that. It's gonna be the backend. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say. I know nothing else at this point. Okay. Alongside that, what do we need to do? One, we need to design the database. We need to know what we want to do, first we need to find out what we are able to do. So we need a bare bones Firebase user system. So we need to design it, and then make it, and then add submissions, and then design the front end, and then code whatever else I need to do. So bare bones SQL user system, SQL user system. Then we need to add submissions. Add submissions to bare bones test. Add submission info retrieval. No. Add administrator updates. Administrators updates or reviews. So because I'd have to submit, and then and then the user, or not the user, the administrator must be able to update that record, that submission, change the status, change the time if applicable. We might even push it to a new table. We might then have to delete it from the pending review table. We'll see. That just depends on our database design. And then what? That is my overarching question. What happens then? So once we have reviewer updates, then we just need to add a leaderboard, and then we just do front end. So right now, let us set up a little GitHub repo for this. And if I remember correctly, I think I've already made one, to be honest. Let's quickly find out. I made Ulix, I made the Ferdi site, I made Spelling Bee. CP implementations is not here either. Okay, so I don't have one. If I had to quickly see, git basic commands, because I don't even know. I don't even know. Always wonder what future implications there might be for showing my file structure. Where would it be? It wouldn't be in Java, it would be in JS. Clearly not. Okay. Where would I put it? Where are my other files? GitHub? Oh, of course they're here. Okay, so I'll have to make a new one. So let's see what basic git commands I don't. So initialize a new repo. You could clone it, but I have nothing to clone. You could work on a branch. What does checkout do? Mistake I often made when I first started learning Git was forgetting to switch to the new branch I just created. Okay, so you make the branch and then you have to switch to it. Okay, and then we could add some file, we could commit, okay. Git commit file name with a message. No, not git commit file name, just git commit -a. So we've just got to navigate to a new folder that we make then. Okay, where are we? Are we sitting? Where are we sitting? Could I just push this? Can you paste in Git bash? Yeah. Okay, I think I'm here now. Okay, I am, okay. So now, it's going to GitHub. No such directory. Do real programmers actually do they print it out? Do they put it in front of them? Do they read it religiously? Is this their genesis? Okay. So MK there. Let's make it. Let's go to programming club. No, that's not funny enough. Wait a second. Wait a second. It's gotta have something to do with a cult. I mean, obviously.
Another looming deadline, but you're a beast. You get done. But imagine you could do more, better. Imagine you could change how the world works. Now,
Cult corner. It's not cult corner. Okay. We're just gonna go to programming club. Okay, we didn't need to do that. We didn't need to say that. Okay, now we have to say git init, dash init. So git to dash init. No. So those are all of the options. It should work. What should I have done? Oh, no dashes, just git init. Okay. Transform current directory into a Git repository. A Git subdirectory will be added. This will allow you to start recording multiple versions of your project. Okay, that makes sense. So just git init. Okay. reinitialized it. So now we've got a subfolder in there. So if I just go in here, Programming Club. Oh, I didn't enter it. Well, that's a bummer. So I've just got to then go cd into Programming Club. No, I can zoom in. Let me be a bit more generous. And then I can say git init. Okay, so now we've got a git repo in here. We can program whatever we need to. I can push it to my account. But I won't right now. Yeah, now I've got a git folder. Now, how do we play this? We can push, get I want to branch, I can add, I can commit. Frecuentemente, commonly. So include a message. Uma mensagem. Mensajem. Commit and then push and then remote. Okay, I don't want it to be remote. Okay, but I don't think we'll do that right now. Considering that we have that, how are we going to go about learning basic SQL then? Or should we... Could I read about SQL now? Could I design the database now? I'll give myself about 20 minutes on this stream and then I'll probably have breakfast and then come back for a CP stream. But let's try to see. So what question could we have about SQL? SQL statements are not that big of a deal for me. I think I'll be able to do that, given that I create the tables and so on with the... I just have to program some verification techniques too. I'd need to include PHP, I suppose. So, okay, just briefly, let's go to W3. How did they know I wanted SQL? Okay, never mind. It's fine. I don't need to know that. So SQL create a database. Oh, okay. There's some SQL statements. You can make the database. Hosting. If you want your website to be able to store and retrieve from the database, your web server should have access to a database system that uses SQL language. True, if it's hosted by an ISP, look for SQL hosting plans. Okay, so I suppose we do that. So I'd have to build this locally. Some MS SQL Server, Oracle, MySQL, MS Access. I believe I'd use MySQL. At least back in the day, that's what I used to use. So. MS SQL Server. Oh, this is heavy duty. Okay. I want something light, something for a few kids. To be fair, I did download MySQL because I was thinking about it. I might go this route. I might. I mean, what do I have to lose? Why am I so scared? If something goes wrong, I'll try again. It wouldn't even be too bad, because database design, that's, as long as that's done well enough. Okay, use MySQL. For not for that. MySQL. Okay, so let's figure out now, where can we learn how to use it? Tutorial. Not the PDF, please. Oh, is there there is a MySQL. Great, W3 is awesome. So you can create a database and so on. Okay, auto increment some stuff. Got all of the typical SQL functions, so I shouldn't be light in that department. Maybe we can find a video about this. Just maybe. Okay, so W3 has a good website. Oh yes, Mosh, Mr. Mosh. I'm not gonna watch your 3-hour video though. Although let's quickly see what it's more or less like.
Hi.
Let's see the installing it. Creating a database for the course, using select where and in between like is now order by limit inner joins, joining across databases, self joins, joining multiple tables, implicit joining. Okay, I might skim through that. Maybe I'll get the gist of it and then I'll be happy. That might be that's a possible route. We could do that. What else could we do? Tutorials point, will they make this process any easier? Okay. We've got the tutorial over here. I don't know what cloud native might mean. Before I say anything, Computacao M9. Huh. So M9 probably. Nuvem is probably cloud. M is probably some essentially functioning as a dash. I don't know, that's at least my assumption. Okay. If I was to use MySQL, there's a video I could watch. There are tutorials I could follow. Also, I'm talking to the air here, but the past month or so, I've just seen YouTube act up. I'm not my homepage isn't loading, although if I just click on some other tab, they would load instantly. I'd have issues on my phone where there would be particular videos where the video would just be static. You wouldn't be able to watch it. All in the name of removing a dislike button. I don't believe this. I believe that there is more to this than what meets the eye. Oh, we can use Heroku. We also have GitHub. We have GitHub Education, so we could use that. So how to create a MySQL database with Heroku. upload website with database online. So I just want to understand this, and then I could have faith in, yeah, I would have faith in the whole learning process. So let's quickly watch one or two of these.
Everything for storing all that information. And in particular, I'm about to be uploading my Discord Carts Manager video as well, so that's why I'm making this. So to get started, head over to the first link that I have in the description, which is just Heroku.com. So you head on over there, and at this point you're probably gonna have to log in. After you log in, it's no big deal, simple creative login, and then you should end up at your dashboard.heroku.com/apps page. Create a new application over here. Name it whatever you like. Oh, and you also cannot have any capital letters, and you can only have dashes in there. You can't have anything else. So we're gonna call ours database tutorial. You just create the application. Give it a second to spin things up. So you can pretty much ignore all of this stuff because we're not doing any of that. Ours is much simpler than all that. We just go to the resources tab here. Find more add-ons. It's going to open a new tab for you. There's going to be a bunch of stuff here. You're going to look through these things and you're going to find ClearDB MySQL. And then just click on that. Click on install ClearDB MySQL in the top right. Now, this is where things are getting interesting. You need to choose the free plan and select your database, select your application name, the one we just created. So in my case, that's this one, and this should pop up like this. Now you can click the provision add-on. So for you guys, when you click it, there's probably going to be a red warning that appears in the top right that says you need to add billing information. So in order for this to work, you are going to have to add your credit card information or some other payment method. However, it is free tier, and so it will not actually charge anything. So there'll be a link provided up there, and you can go add your credit card information. It's very quick and easy, not a big deal. Then once you're done with that, come back to this, click on the provision add-on again. Make sure we're on the free tier, by the way. And this should be up. If by chance you didn't set the free tier, it'll say down here, you can do this, you can hit modify plan, and you can change to the tier that you need again. If you need to increase, yeah, see, it's already here. If you need to increase the amount of storage, you can upgrade your plan there as well. It's pretty straightforward. But now we have that there, and so now we have created a database on Heroku, and it's available. So at this point, there's a few other things you're going to need. Head over to the second link in the description. This is going to give us a GUI program. This is meant for Windows, but you can use it anywhere. I'm assuming most people are using Windows for this. But you can download this program, and I'm going to go ahead and open it up. And once you download it and install it, this is what's going to actually let us access our database. So I'll come back to that in just a moment because we have to set up the connection settings. So here you can see all this stuff. If you wanted to go see some random information like usage statistics, you can click on the database here and give it a minute and it will load up in here. You can see a lot of information about it. You can see backups and all information. Yeah, also I will be disabling this database as soon as I'm done with this tutorial, so don't bother trying to connect with this information. Anyways, so now that we're here, back in the Heroku app, all you need to do is go to settings, click reveal config bars, and you should see this whole set of information. Now at this point, I would recommend opening up some form of text editor just to make your life a little bit easier. I don't know why that's there. And so what you can do is you can just click on this, it'll highlight everything for you. You're going to want to copy that, go to your text editor, paste that. So you have this whole big long thing. What we're going to do is after this chunk right here, I'm just separating things out into bits because these are different bits of information we're going to need. So this part is useless, this is useless, this is useless, and this is useless. So these are the important parts. I'll leave those there so you guys can see how I kind of organize things. But so now what you can do is you can go to your MySQL workbench. It might look a little bit different to you, but basically you need to find somewhere that lets you add a connection. So you hit add on that connection. You can name it whatever you like. And then under hostname, you're going to grab this bit of information. It's going to come after the @ but before the // just this part. You're going to grab that wrong thing, and you're going to enter it into hostname. Port should be 3306. You should leave that as is. Username. So this is where these parts come in. So this first section here is a username. You're going to insert that for username, and then I would go ahead and copy the password just so you have it ready. And here you can click the store in Vault, paste in the password, and then click OK. Now what I would do now is test connection. It'll probably give this connection warning. Not a big deal to continue anyway. It's all basically just saying that versions haven't been tested, but they'll work just fine. So I'm going to hit continue anyways. It should say successfully made the connection. If you didn't successfully make the connection, there's probably something wrong, or you split up this URL improperly. So I would go back through what I've already said and try it again. Once you get to that point, you can go ahead and hit OK. It should pop up here. So now if you want to connect your database, you can just click on that. And hit, yeah, don't tell the message again, continue anyways. It's the same warning from before. So now we actually have our database able to be accessed. Now there's no data there, obviously, because we haven't put any data in yet. But yeah, you have a database and you have a program that lets you access this and edit the values in it. For now, for a lot of my programs, you'll be taking these bits of information and inserting them into the code that I'll be showing later, so don't lose track of this information. As for creating a database, I think that's just about it.
Okay.
I would check to make sure a few things, like under Resources tab in Heroku, make sure that you're not actually being charged anything. You definitely should not be getting charged for this. If you want to continue having free tier information, but your database gets too large, I'd recommend either migrating to another service.
Okay, so I don't think we should worry about doing the hosting
another
right now.
database.
At least not for the final database. Now we just want to learn the basics and then hopefully get the hosting and then redo it with new data. If I If I could do this locally, that would be nice. So that's hosting. Local development. Could I just say that? I don't know. What could I see? How to install server and workbench. Okay, I'll give you a chance. Not you. Not you, Stella.
Number 5. Chanel.
My name is Kyneton, and I've been a software engineer for about 20 years now, and I'm going to teach you how to create a database in MySQL Server. Now, for you to have MySQL Server and also have MySQL Workbench, which is a GUI for creating and managing database, you'll need to go to the database, the MySQL downloads page and download MySQL installer. So after downloading it, just follow the procedure to install it. It's quite easy to install. I've downloaded it and installed it in my system as well. Once you install MySQL, you have MySQL available in the list of programs. So if you go down there in MySQL, you can find MySQL Workbench. MySQL Workbench is a powerful GUI for creating and managing MySQL databases, but now there's a catch. In MySQL, it could actually be a bit confusing. Meanwhile, when you open MySQL Workbench, you see some connections here. The one you are going to choose is local instance MySQL 80, or it could also be MySQL depending on the name you gave it when you installed it. So go ahead to click on it. But the problem with MySQL is that you always find it difficult to see how to create a new database. The reason is because MySQL does not call a database a database. Ironically, it calls a database a schema. So if you go to the database, you'll never see create new database, and that is what took me some time to figure it out when I was starting initially some years ago. So right now that I'm working with microservices and I'm going to be working with MySQL again, I want to help my subscribers and new programmers and DBA see that they have to learn MySQL and everything involved. So the first thing I want to do, or you need to do, is to click on Schema to see the list of databases available. Well, before I continue, I'd like to remind you to subscribe to my channel by clicking on the subscribe button below this video. In that way, you kind of motivate me to keep making these lessons. And also, when you subscribe, I have a feeling that there are people I'm working with, especially since I make these lessons for free, and you get updates when I make new lessons as well. So at this point, I expect that you subscribe and like my video if it's being helpful to you.
Cool, man.
So to create a new database, you simply right-click and choose Create Schema. When you say Create Schema, you're actually saying Create New Database, and that is the confusion I wanted to solve. So at this point, you can just say, give it the name, use as DB. Now the case does not matter because it's going to end up changing the case to lowercase. So we've created a database. You can see the DDL statement at this point generated as well. So we've created a database called UsersDB at this point, and the next thing we want to do, the next logical thing, is to create a table inside this database. To create a table, you expand the database tree and then choose tables and say create table. When you say create table, the first thing you do is to give it a name. So let's call it student. Now, if you are a developer or a DBA here, this time in 2019, you'll see that it's necessary for you to give your tables names, which is the same as the names of the classes defined in your application that maps to this table. So before now, when you normally name tables, we'll have a convention of naming tables with plural, like students or users. But it's good also to name it the same name so that it maps to classes in your application. Well, that we'll talk about when we talk about ORM, object relational mapping, later on. So let's say we have ID to be the primary key, and then we have first name, and first name should be Vata and also last name. So if by chance you don't have the primary key selected, you're also going to be able to save this and create this table, but there'll be a problem. Take note that the DDL statement is also created. If you want to copy it and paste somewhere for references, you can do that. So while we have created a new table, so if we expand the table node, you can see students have been created. But we will not be able to edit this table. So if I go to select 1000, you see that I cannot even add anything to this table. And the reason is because I don't have a primary key created for this table. Now I've also arranged this tutorial in this way so that I can show you how to alter or change a table. So to change this table, just right click on it and choose alter table, and it allows the option to select the primary key. So you can have this PKNNUQ. We'll talk about this a little later, but for now you see what they mean. Yeah, the full names are written here. So select the primary key and just say apply and say apply. And at this point, once you've done this, you'll be able to edit the table content by right-clicking on it and say select 1000 rows. So at this point, if you right-click here, you'll be able to add item to this table. So you can see I'm easily adding item to this table. But after adding items, you'll need to make sure that you say apply so that these items will be persisted. So I'm going to say apply and apply again and finish. So these items have been added, or this record has been added to this table right now. So if I right-click on this table and say select 1000 rows, you can see that we have one row available in there. I'm going to stop here. I'd like to thank you for viewing. Remember to subscribe to my channel, and that way you get updates and notifications when I make new lessons. And also, if you have any challenges, because...
Okay, I feel good. I feel good with this. I think this might be this might be the way to go. What does my video look like, to be honest? I feel good with this. I think this might be this might be the way to go. What does my video look like, to be honest? I feel good with this. I think this might be the way to go. What does my video look like, to be honest? Oh, it's going fast. Okay, that's pretty good. Okay. Why did The Weeknd post a music video? Okay, doesn't matter. I'm not gonna watch that now. All right. This is good for many reasons. The only issue that we might come across is hosting, and we do have a teacher that is willing to pay. So I should develop this locally, run all the tests myself. My issue is it worth me doing a tutorial on stream? Should I do that? Is that something you, as the people of this, as the many people of the stream, want to see? Do you want to see this? I don't know, and I'm not sure, but I'm gonna do it anyway, because this is about me. This is about my learning. Yeah, I don't know what this round was, but this is what we'll do, and I hope that it will go well. We're going to use MySQL. We know what features we need. The first step that we need to do right now is design the database, just briefly, like as bare bones as possible. I don't need to add too much right now. Just need to know the sort of relations that I would need. And then, then it will be off to doing some minor SQL tutorial, some video. I might follow Mosh, but Mosh is a bit too much for me, man, you know? So try to find a better video than that, but I think this will be it. I think this was a good session, and I hope that it works out. Okay, I'm gonna end stream with that, and I think this was good. I'm just gonna have breakfast. I'll do another stream when I come back.